I've had the opportunity as well to work with parents that have lost their children to opioid addiction. And that's really important because people don't realize how it's affected Orange County. Sadly, Orange County has the highest suicide rate and death rate when it comes to overdose on opioids in the United States.
Oh, wow.
So to me, you know what, education is everything. Okay. I think it's important. And I think when it comes to anything, whether it's policy, it's all about education. And I think if you can get the education out there, people can make common sense decisions.
And with that, just chiming in here, is there an age range for that? Is that hitting mostly youth? The one we were focusing on definitely high school students. But I mean, it's starting from 8th grade up. And, Orange County has, the thing is Orange County's always had the money. So they've been able to afford this. The problem is though, once they become addicted and not able to have the opioids, they tend to move to heroin. It costs basically about $5 to be able to get a high off heroin. And that's where you're seeing all these deaths happening. And then, we talk about also, a legalization of marijuana. That doesn't help at all. Especially people don't realize this isn't the marijuana that people had years and years ago. You have a lot of chemicals that are in there, almost to the level that it can be like LSD, where there's hallucinations. And not knowing what they're taking is really, scary, especially when you're talking about edibles, because edibles take longer to go into the system. So your young teen is taking this, thinking this is great. And they're like, well, I'm not feeling anything. So they take more and they take more. They're mixing it with alcohol. And you're looking at the number of cases going to the emergency ER just keep rising. So speaking on, marijuana, it's a pretty popular issue in general in California specifically. How would you speak to, because, with alcohol, you have the ATF, with, foods, you have the FDA. Do you think marijuana should be regulated the same way that, food and alcohol are? I mean, I feel like that would be, if we have to work with it being legal, because it seems like that's the general popular direction, at least from, voting wise. Right. You'd push for that? Well, when it comes to, obviously marijuana being legal, I always thought it should have gone through just like pharmaceuticals, that, it's legal, but you need to go ahead and you need to go through a doctor and you need to have, prescription and you go through that just like you get any other prescriptions through it. Sadly, I think we all know, all you had to do is look at Colorado when they went through, and the number of deaths, the number of car accidents. I mean, if you look at the rate of car accidents due to under the influence of marijuana has increased. And so it's not safe out there. And when you can see these stats and people still keep pushing it again, it's always about profit. And I think that's the worst part. It's always about someone's profit. It's not about safety. Yeah.